a rap star on the rise during a violent home invasion in the Hollywood Hills this morning. The music world is in shock.
Four people, all teenagers, have been charged in connection with the shooting death of rapper Pop Smoke.
Bashar Baraka Jackson, better known to the world as Pop Smoke, was an American rapper who quickly made a name for himself in the music scene. However, his name in the music industry was short-lived as he mysteriously passed away in February 2020.
Pop Smoke was a rapper who seemed to be on the rise. The 20-year-old seen in this recent music video was just about to head out on tour.
Apparently, reports in the media emerged that Pop Smoke was brutally in his home. However, the reason for such an act remains unclear. But thanks to the social media followers and fans who were quick to indulge in the matter and comment about Pop's death, while people took social media by storm, they discovered something even more surprising. Apparently, Pop Smoke had connections with the hip-hop mogul, P. Diddy. To be clear, it wasn't just any other random connection. It seemed that they both had known each other for a while, as Pop Smoke was spotted dancing at Diddy's party more than once.
And you know the streets getting lit. Baby, welcome to the party. I'm off the money that's in the lead. That's why I'm over retarded.
By now, whenever the name Diddy pops up, we all think we know what's coming next. But there's a lot more to the story than meets the eye. Rumors are swirling around that Pop was intentionally as he knew something more than the rest of the world knew about Diddy. To make things worse, it was reported that King Combs was in the studio with Pop Smoke hours before his tragic death. King Combs and Pop Smoke's growing friendship was cut tragically short not long after it began. The pair managed to share some good times and create the hit single Diana, but their plans to collaborate further came to a heartbreaking halt with Pop's untimely death. For Combs, their final moments in the studio together have turned into treasured memories. However, fans suspect a completely different story than what meets the eye. Reflecting on his last moments with the Woo rapper in an interview with Hip Hop DX, Combs shared some insight into that fateful night. He recalled how they were up late in the studio, joined by a few others, as he laid down his verse for Diana, and Pop Smoke recorded Iced Out Audemars and a few other tracks. That was my second time in the studio with him, but we'd been around each other a lot. He said, anytime we were around each other, it's a lot of energy where you're just dancing and having fun. Never any negative vibes, and it was the same thing that night. But that's not all. T.I. Diddy recalled that the collaborators shared some laughs and personal stories during their session, and Combs planned to catch up with Pop Smoke afterward. However, he got pulled over by the LAPD, realized how late it was, and decided to head home instead. He received the heartbreaking news just moments later. My pops bursts into my room and says, "Yo, Pop Smoke," and I'm like, I was just with him like an hour ago. It was crazy, Combs said. Wow, rest in peace, Pop Smoke. That wasn't even supposed to happen. He was meant to be huge right now, man, but his legacy is living on, and I'm always going to honor him. Combs said that during their last meeting, he shared some motivational words that have stuck with Combs ever since. He was like, yo, you gotta keep doing what you're doing your thing. I see you, I like you, you're hard, Combs recalled. That's just something that stuck with me because he didn't even have to say that. He didn't have to say anything, and he just made it known he rocked with me and what I was doing. It's just like for somebody to go out and say that, to show love out the way. I feel like that stuck with me for sure. That's the story we are told about Pop by Diddy. However, the people on the internet have other things to say. After seeing the video of Pop Smoke dancing with Diddy, many fans took the social media by storm, suspecting something else going on behind the scenes. A user commented, "Dancing like they a bunch of dudes who love dudes. It's becoming more and more clear to me." Another user said, "That I see you from Diddy hits different knowing what we know." Another one stated, "Diddy saw a whole meal, bro. Pop Smoke RIP was just loving his life." Apparently, the speculation stems from the fact that Diddy has been facing numerous lawsuits and charges related to R&SA. Many fans suspect that Diddy might have had a role in Pop Smoke's death. 4 years ago, Diddy's reputation was spotless, and no one was aware of what was happening behind the scenes or what he was involved in. Given that Pop Smoke was becoming close to him, some fans believe he might have known something. However, it's crucial to know that this is just a theory circulating among fans online. However, recently, Pop Smoke's took a new twist that linked to the shocking discovery of another rapper's body found stuffed inside a barrel. Yavanta's body was discovered inside a barrel that washed ashore in Malibu on July 31st.
A man Found dead inside a barrel at Malibu Lagoon State Beach has been identified. The coroner's office says the man is 32-year-old Javante Murphy.
He happens to be the brother of Jaquan Murphy, one of the 5 individuals arrested back in 2020 in connection with Pop Smoke's. Initially, Jaquan faced attempted charges related to Pop Smoke's death, but was later cleared of those charges. However, he is now awaiting trial for a different, unrelated case. Sources from law enforcement have shared with the tabloids that the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department is investigating Javanta's death as a possible act of revenge for the Pop Smoke. To recap, Pop Smoke was tragically shot in a robbery in the Hollywood Hills in February 2020. At the time, he wasn't alone. Amelia Rose was with him when the fatal shots were fired, but he was the only one hit. To many fans, it sure smelled fishy and sounded like an intentional hit at Pop Smoke, as many people questioned why was Pop the only one to be shot. Pop said he was going upstairs. Amelia Rose recalled to Van Lathan on WeTV's Hip Hop Homicides, "I'm sitting on the bed and I'm starting to take off my clothes, and he said, 'Okay, I'll come back.' He was going to the restroom, and so this was his last words." In what felt like just seconds, she heard a noise. She vividly remembered the sliding glass door opening. The guy was in the mask, and his gun was like looking at me, you know? His eyes made me so scared. They run to the restroom. Pop screamed, "What?" During the rest of the interview, she became emotional as she described the horrifying moment when Pop Smoke was dragged out of the bedroom by a masked intruder. After a brief struggle, she heard the fatal gunshot. Rose shared that she still struggles to sleep and can't believe she wasn't at night as well. Fast forward to May. An 18-year-old man, who was just 15 at the time of the incident, was charged with Pop Smoke. According to the Los Angeles Times, he confessed to the crime in juvenile court. Not just this, but Pop Smoke's is walking free again, and people are furious. He's been all over the internet, openly bragging about his role in Pop Smoke's without a hint of regret for being one of the 4 men involved. The outrage isn't just aimed at him though. Adam22 is also catching heat for hosting the controversial interview. In this hour-long conversation, we got some jaw-dropping details about what happened to one of rap's biggest stars, and the burning question everyone has been asking: how is one of his already out of jail? The guy at the center of it all is Blockstar, and his chilling interview with Adam22 shocked everyone. Not only did he show almost no remorse, but he even hinted that Pop Smoke somehow deserved it.
"I'm not sorry about nothing." He was rapping about it.
This interview revealed some major surprises, shedding new light on Pop Smoke's death and giving us a closer look at Blockstar's life. The interview revealed that Pop Smoke's shooting wasn't Blockstar's first time shooting someone. He openly talks about shooting a guy he was arguing with when he was just 13 and how he managed to beat that case. Blockstar's early years help explain how he ended up involved in Pop Smoke. He also mentions that he hates having butterflies in his stomach and says he has to act whenever he feels stressed or anxious.
Nervous, I react. Yeah. That's my thing. Nervous, react. I don't like having butterflies. I don't like feeling tingling. I'm a react.
The interview also clears up a lot of the myths and conspiracy theories surrounding Pop Smoke's death. Many people thought there was more to the shooting than just a robbery, leading to all kinds of theories. Some believed it was a hit from rival gangs, while others thought it was driven by jealousy over Pop Smoke's success in the drill scene. Even Nicki Minaj suggested that jealousy played a role in his murder back in 2020. With so many theories flying around, it's no wonder fans thought there might be more to the story. However, Blockstar sets the record straight in the interview, explaining that it was simply a robbery. In fact, Blockstar admits he didn't even know who Pop Smoke was.
I didn't know him at all. I didn't know of him. I probably seen one picture of him before, and
He said that after the incident, he couldn't sleep and was stunned the next day to learn how famous Pop Smoke was. Blockstar looks visibly shaken when he recounts the night of to Adam22. He even tries to excuse his actions by claiming he was high on a perk and not fully aware of what was happening. One thing he's certain about is that Pop Smoke wasn't set up, and he dismisses the theories suggesting otherwise. There was a lot of speculation, including rumors about 2 people in the house that night who were thought to have betrayed Pop Smoke, but Blockstar insists that's not true. Blockstar insists it was just him and his 3 friends involved in the incident, and none of them intended for Pop Smoke to be. At least that's what he says. A major question everyone's been asking is who actually pulled the trigger. We know there were 4 people involved, and back in 2013, an 18-year-old who was 15 at the time admitted to the shooting. Although they never publicly named the shooter, Blockstar seems to fit the description. Adam, 22, tries to get Blockstar to name the shooter, but Blockstar shuts him down and tells him to move on to the next question. He insists that nobody was supposed to get hurt and that it was just a robbery that went wrong. He blames it on being kids from the hood, but his lack of remorse is striking. He even suggests that Pop Smoke might have brought it on himself because of his violent lyrics. Despite his generally cold attitude, Blockstar does show a touch of remorse at the end of the interview, offering his condolences to Pop Smoke's family.
I just want to send my condolences and apologize for my actions.
He points to his childhood as an excuse, saying, "That's just the way I grew up," and admits that if he could turn back time, he'd change what happened. It's clear he feels some remorse and regrets his actions. He was wrong if he thought a weak apology would make the fans happy. The interview actually made Pop Smoke's supporters even more angry. They had a lot to say, and their frustration was clear. Many fans believe that his apology won't bring Pop Smoke back, and that what he did was wrong. They are also upset that he's roaming freely on the streets and hasn't been punished for his actions, which is a troubling situation. Pop Smoke was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. Pop Smoke burst into the spotlight with his hit singles Welcome to the Party and Dior in 2019. He was known for teaming up with UK drill artists, bringing a fresh sound to the Brooklyn drill scene with his more intense beats. In April 2019, after gaining popularity, record producer Rico Beats introduced Pop Smoke to Steven Victor. This led to Pop Smoke signing a deal with Victor Worldwide and Republic Records. He dropped his debut mixtape, Meet the Woo, in July 2019, and his follow-up, Meet the Woo 2, came out on February 7th, 2020. The second mixtape made a huge splash, debuting at number 7 on the Billboard 200 and marking his first top 10 project in the US. Tragically, just 12 days after the mixtape's release, Pop Smoke was a home invasion in Los Angeles. Despite this, his music lived on. On July 3rd, 2020, 50 Cent, who was the executive producer, released his posthumous debut album, Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon. The album shot straight to number 1 on the Billboard 200, with all 19 tracks making it onto the Billboard Hot 100. It also brought us international hits like For the Night featuring DaBaby and Lil Baby and What You Know About Love. A year later, on July 16th, 2021, Republic Records dropped his second studio album, Faith. Pop Smoke's rise was incredibly fast and intense. In just 14 months, from the moment he dropped his first song to his tragic passing, he accomplished more than many artists do in their entire careers. He caught the eye of big names like Skepta and Nicki Minaj, and even teamed up with Travis Scott for the massive hit Gotti, which brought him into the mainstream spotlight. Pop Smoke was special in so many ways, not just because of his incredible music. His deep, raspy voice was like some cool gangster ASMR that the hip-hop world had never heard before. It was just one of those unique qualities that made him stand out and the reason he had grown a large fan base in such a short period. Pop Smoke had this incredible energy in his performances that was unmatched. He could make a party explode with excitement without even raising his voice. Thanks to his cool, laid-back style and deep, raspy voice, his charisma and those unforgettable dance moves made hip-hop a lot more fun when he was around. In his short but impactful career, he left a huge mark on his peers and the hip-hop world. One of the people who felt his influence was 50 Cent, who Pop Smoke looked up to as a kid. They got to hang out a bit before Pop Smoke's passing, which was a special moment for both. People often compared Pop Smoke to 50 Cent, noting how his music, like PTSD, had a similar vibe. Some even joked that Pop Smoke looked like a young 50 Cent. Despite the comparisons, Pop Smoke seemed to really enjoy being linked with his idol. He took every chance to connect with 50, whether it was dropping by his office to rap his favorite 50 Cent lines or just hanging out.
Whoa, whoa, baby. Now, speaking of Pop Smoke, a lot of people say they hear you in him. He even said that when he started.
In the short time 50 Cent and Pop Smoke spent together, 50 was really impressed by how dedicated Pop Smoke was. After Pop passed away, 50 Cent went all out to honor his memory. He made it a point to announce on Instagram that he would be executive producing Pop Smoke's posthumous album. He shared photos of them together and even reached out to big names in rap like Roddy Ricch, who confirmed a feature. 50 didn't stop there. He also contacted Drake and Chris Brown to get the biggest names involved in the album. In a heartfelt Instagram Live, 50 Cent explained why he was putting so much effort into the project. He made it clear that he wouldn't be making any money from the album. Instead, he wanted to make it as big as possible to respect Pop Smoke and celebrate his legacy.
I'm executive producing his album. Trust me, I don't need a dollar. A dollar from the I don't care about it. I didn't even talk to them about.
Watching 50 Cent talk about Pop Smoke, it's clear their friendship was the real deal. When a big-name rapper gets involved in a posthumous project, people often think it's just a cash grab or a publicity stunt. But from this video, it's obvious 50 Cent's intentions are genuine. In the video, 50 mentions 3 key things he noticed about Pop Smoke that convinced him the young artist was truly special. When 50 speaks, I listen. This is a guy who's been at the top of the rap game, made millions, and seen a lot of artists come and go. His opinion carries weight. For anyone who wasn't a huge Pop Smoke fan while he was alive, 50 Cent's perspective helps explain why Pop Smoke's passing was such a huge loss for music. 50 saw firsthand why Pop Smoke was so unique and deserving of the respect and admiration he's received from the hip-hop community. Pop Smoke was something truly special. Even though his time with us was cut short, he made a huge impact with his fresh sound and unique voice. Fans and fellow artists alike were drawn to his vibe, and he was buzzing with potential. If he hadn't been taken so soon, there's no doubt he would have reached even greater heights. It's heartbreaking to think about all the incredible music and moments we lost. His legacy is already huge, but you can't help but wonder just how far he could have gone. That's it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching.